Let me read something out of James for you. It says here in James 1, verse 2, "Consider it all joy, my brethren, when you encounter various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces endurance, and let endurance have its full effect and a perfect result, so that you may be perfect and complete." James is obviously talking about the benefit of testings and the benefit of trials and tribulation in this world and this daily walk we live by. But let me continue, because he goes on to say this. "Blessed is the man," this is in verse 12, "who perseveres under trial. For once he has been approved, he will receive the crown of life, which the Lord has promised to those who love him." It's interesting that the brother of Jesus talks about trials as a good thing, as a benefit, as a reward. Trials can also be worded as testing. Now, there's a funny thing that we've probably heard growing up in different churches. I've heard this many times, and it goes like this. Sometimes the things you pray for you don't receive, just as much as a person doesn't give the keys to a Maserati to a baby. What that metaphor says is basically you might not be able to receive a blessing from the Lord. There's also another analogy that maybe people don't use, but I've often thought of, and it's this. Just as you, when you turn 16, are able to get your license, you have to go through a test in order to get your license. Well, is the person testing you in that moment wrong or mean or evil to test you for that, to make sure you're safe and you're capable of driving? Well, of course not, because we all know that driving can lead to some very unfortunate casualties. Very hard things can happen if you make an accident on the road. So in order to receive that blessing, you have to go through a test. And once you go through that test appropriately, you're able to receive that blessing. I believe there's many doors in the life we walk on, many opportunities we have, some not for your best interest. And I think a question you and me need to ask ourselves is, who has our best interest? The world, maybe ourselves and our selfish desires, or God? And God gives you testings many times throughout your life, and he's done it many times throughout my life, and he'll continue to do so. But those testings are opportunities. He's not evil. It's just that he wants to bless you with something, or there's a door he wants to walk you through. He wants to develop a character in you. He wants to make you look and do and be more like Jesus. These are opportunities. But there are other doors that we can walk through, doors that are not good, and doors that do not lead to our benefit. It says this many times in the Bible, we've seen it through many stories, that blessings always follow obedience, but curses follow disobedience. It's important that we remember that when we go through a moment where we have to take a leap of faith, where we have to let go of something, where there's a sacrifice or a decision that's hard to make, that's over our selfish desires, we must remember that that's an opportunity. That is an open door to something God might have in store with you. Now, whether there's other doors that aren't good for you, are yourself, your own self-interest, your own selfishness. Maybe it's the world tempting you around you. Maybe it's the media. Maybe it's maybe the principalities of the air leading you to a place of places you don't want to go to. I would encourage you with this, that God has opportunities for us, and he wants to make us have a stronger character. He wants to bring us to the fullness of Christ. But sometimes there's testings we have to go through. So whatever testing season you may be in, remember that this is an opportunity and this is an open door for an awesome blessing.